Hi, welcome back to channel FC24. Alright, going to share you how to clear the skill games, especially the bowling. It's really tough, but I'm going to share here so it make life difficult by EA, but made easy by me. So I'm going to share you first one. I think this is the toughest of all. I mean, if you do the normal way, which is right forward, you're definitely going to miss it. So you can see here, this is the negative demonstration. You should be doing a curve, alright? Should be doing a curve in a way so that you can sit very comfortably into the center, so where the ball flows. You can see again that's how you do it. Alright, so just remember this is a curve. Alright, so the next skill game will be not that tough compared to bowling, but definitely still need some way of doing it. You could bear this in mind. Your target, your red dot should be above. Alright, so if your red dot is below the target, unlikely you'll hit it. Okay, so make sure the red dot is above. And of course the last one, make a U. That's how you do it. Draw on the floor the line, and that's how you can fit those ball directly to the lower targets. Okay, so with that, I'm going to share you the finals as well. Alright, so this match not very difficult, I would say, but still certain level of challenge. The OVR, don't be deceived by it. It's faked. Apparently, the player are much better than 75. They behave like they are 100. So do not be disappointed if you can't clear it first time around. Just off the app and restart again. Okay, so it is extremely unbelievable that they have indicated there as 75 OVR. This is madness. It's definitely not behaving like 75 for sure. So just make sure you do the draw possessions by stealing it from opponent, and after that keep on possessions by having a great gap between yourself and the opponent itself. Right, so here we have first goal. With that, we've secured the win, and I'm going to make sure we maintain a distance from the opponent itself. So it's not as friendly as it looks. Just make sure when you just have to forgive that irritating referee. So that's how I hated that referee, because it's so unfair, but that's usually the way. Then once you get in possession, as I said, make sure you have a good gap between yourself as well as, but do remember to look out for your teammates so you can pass the ball back. But most of the times it will get deflected away. It's normal, don't be upset with that, because that's how EA has trained the AI to deflect the ball. Even though the opponent may not be deflecting it, your own players will be deflecting it to the opponent itself. So that's part and parcel of the EA AI to make you fail. Alright, so still got less than 10 minutes. We should be able to hold this attack and able to get this over done with before we move on to other skill games as part of the challenge. The challenge are not tough, but just need a bit of practice in order to do those skill games, especially, which sometimes quite tricky. If you feel yourself failing, as I said, do not be shy to offer away the app. Alright, so another time in hitting goalposts is expected. That's normal. Alright, so last 2 minutes, we should be able to be defending this win and end this game really soon. Alright, so that's for sure. By now, I think we have already secured that win. I'm going to think about the skill games moving forward in the next challenge itself. Do remember to check out your players and move them to the market if you can be sold for a good price, especially those 70 plus OVR players. Some can go as high as 80,000, so make sure you do those. You can keep the 60s for your training. You can sell for all those high values 70s. Alright, so this one not that tough. Just make sure you aim the target as possible. Those in the bottoms much easier to achieve. Try to aim the center so that you can either hit on the top or the bottom. But go bear in mind the last one, make sure you leave one for the bottom. Right, so how you clear that. And of course, next up with another skill game. The skill game for this is passing between the 3 players, so you be careful. Do not not need to rush. There's sufficient time. It's 30 seconds. If you rush, sometimes you may just hit the red line, and that may leave you trying again one more time. There are 3 attempts, but normally you can clear it within the first one. You just be patient and be careful, right? So sometimes the players located not in favorable positions. Just make sure, just like this, for example, nearly lose there. All right, so that's the end of the 2 skill game in this challenge. Next up will be a match. I don't think it's going to stop you from proceeding further into the challenge for sure. Those matches are not as tough as what they ought to be. But again, I must say that the OVR, whatever the state, is definitely faked. So here we have a 0-0 start, and I'm really happy that it started at the 60 minutes rather than those 0 minutes, because you're going to play a full game of this ridiculous match. So just playing for 30 minutes, that's perfectly fine. You're going to quickly score a goal, and then we'll end this session here. So most of the time, there are huge bunch of defenders. It's very difficult to score. But you got to find a gap when you pass around. Just make sure do some dribbling. You can see it's quite obvious. AI is at work. Sometimes it amazes me that how EA makes things so difficult for players. Yeah, because do you find it challenging, that you find it happy to play and continue with, or you just find it frustrating, such silly AI moves that makes ridiculous move at all? For me, I'll be the latter, but not so much of the former. So this is something you gotta think about in terms of revenue generating company like EA. They just want to make you frustrated so you can spare real money eventually to clear off those obstacles. So you can see it's so obvious. The reflex from the goalkeeper is so amazing, because you can just jump straight up again and deflect away your ball. So that's really not human. So left with 10 minutes, we're going to score this. Otherwise, we're wasting time entering to extra time, and going to waste more time in playing this game, because there's just too much things to do. Sometimes it's really tiring playing FIFA or playing this FC. Is the same. I don't understand why. I mean, EA just makes things so boring, and it's so tedious to play, and I just find the attractiveness of the game sometimes just dwindle along the way. It was the best in the past, where it's so attractive because it makes things in a progression manner. Now it's very routine, and it's really something that you wouldn't really enjoy that much compared to the previous time. It would be fun, I mean, if they have made it to make a progression kind of game, but this is a very routine, and the reward is so tiny that the stinginess of EA is so extreme nowadays. It used to be very generous, that makes the games quite fun, but now it's so stingy in a way that just makes the whole game so boring, because every time you fight hard, you just get a very tiny amount of points, and you need a huge amount of points to exchange for very poor players. So the return is really tiny. So we're going to hit to the next skill game right now. This is just a race. Just be careful not into obstacles, and you should be fine. Okay, so I think the last moment is the one that you got to be careful not knocking the last obstacle. You're going to move away slightly by using your joystick. It's perfectly fine. All right, so with that, we come towards the end, which is a final match. Not going to be tough as well, but you can see the fake OVR indicated. So I'm going to fast forward this bit a bit. It's not tough. Very quickly, we scored a goal. We just have another 30 odd minutes to go, and to score another goal, so we can secure this win, and we can end the challenge for the day. So the other challenge, sometimes I couldn't make it, so be it. Wouldn't be bothered about it too much, because it's just about probably some gems and whatnot. But again, there will be free gems. We're watching a video. Sometimes certain things you can do, exchange for gems. Go ahead and do so, especially those division rewards itself. So those are the ones that can get good number of gems. Sometimes losing this kind of challenge, in terms of losing some gems, that's really, don't be bothered about that. So another one to share with you is this, where you can do very far free kicks into the goalpost if you choose appropriate player at your settings. And of course, for me, it's Grealish. And then what's going to happen is also when you select the player, and then when you so-called strike it off, the curve must be accurate and within the box of the goalpost as well. Your fingers cross out of the box, the ball will just fly all the way, and you couldn't see it, just like a baseball. So make sure you just do that when you do a free kick, right? So 5 more minutes to go. Definitely no issue in doing this for you. So just go ahead and enjoy a bit of playing, and that should be the end of the challenge, and we can just continue with the routine stuff that needs to be done, right? So there's too much routine stuff to be done sometimes, just too daunting. All right, thank you very much for watching, and do like, subscribe, and good luck. Goodbye.